We got 20 seconds.
All right. Okay.
Actually, 20 seconds starts now.
Good evening. Good evening.
Not yet. 20 seconds.
Okay.
10 seconds.
They're going fast.
Okay, do you?
Good evening. Good evening. This is Lady Estelle and the Street Soldier Crew, and we are back for another Sunday evening with you. Your host this evening is delighted to see that we are still here. We are still listening. We are still alive and free. Your host, Dr. Joseph E. Marshall Jr.
Thank you, Lady E. Thank you. Alive and Free, Street Soldiers Radio, back again, and I have to use a basketball metaphor.
Oh man,
because
don't do that.
We run the point guard. We the point guard for the we the point guard for the community. Okay, we the point guard for the community. All things good here, good advice, good example, good information, good instruction to make sure that you stay alive and free. All you got to do is listen and apply. Listen and apply. How we know it works? Well, we got plenty of evidence and proof. Got a great guest for you. So, I hope you have tons of questions because the stuff we're going to talk about is very, very serious, very, very necessary. But before we get to that, gotta say to, I think, Lady E, and I think the soul is there also. Gotta say to both of you. So, and of course, to Phil Moore, who's been running around here like a chicken with his head cut off. He's a busy man.
Hey, man.
Multitasking.
I'm a multitasker.
Yes, you are, sir.
Dark-skinned brothers matter, and we don't cheat.
Dark-skinned. What the hell?
No.
What?
I'm very random. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you for the acknowledgement, Dr. Marshall. Keeping us alive and free.
Yeah. You heard that, Lady? Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I just want to say, Lady E.
Yes,
Mike has one of the greatest voices of all time. You are a genius for picking her to just introduce the show.
Oh my!
And close the show.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Man, I love you and respect you, Lady E.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Yes, and Miss Ann.
Thank you.
As well.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. You show up at sometimes you pick the perfect times and you step right in right on time, and I love it. Thank you.
All right, let's get this headline over. The New York Knicks.
Oh my God.
Or the basketball champions of the NBA.
Are they the best team?
Doesn't matter. They won.
That's right.
It don't matter. I mean, people gonna debate whether they're a great team or they're a good team playing great, but it don't matter. They won. Fact. I know they won.
You're right about that, sir.
17-1, 13-1, only lost one. Anyway, they're amazing. So, gotta give credit. And I don't know if there's a city in the nation who was as starved as New York. I mean, New York is, it's the Mecca, right? It's the Big Apple, and man, I mean, them people were like.
Well, I'm from New York, so I got to say, got to speak up from New York, representing.
They did one of the greatest.
You got to, Dr. Campbell. You got to do
it. They're one of the best. They were the best team 53 years. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a long time to wait, and they went crazy last night. A little bit too crazy.
They did. I didn't watch it.
Oh yeah, they went crazy.
They was doing a lot.
I was gonna go to that because
I didn't see it.
You can't have. Well, let me do the good part first. Congratulations to New York.
Everybody's happy.
To the captain, Jason, Brunson, and what he shows is that, and I guess if all you guys out there who measure yourself, or ladies out there who measure yourself by height, weight, all the numbers. I mean, he doesn't have any of those. He doesn't have great athleticism.
He has grit.
But he got.
He's tenacious.
He got heart.
Hey, I know one thing. He got a championship.
Dang. He got MVP. He got MVP.
He got MVP.
He got 45 points.
Look, last night he went crazy.
He got as much as Michael did. right, in 1996, I think.
Doc, we see that you have a real New Yorker in the studio right now because he has an extra
He know
glove.
all the stats.
You-
What happened in 1983 Christmas game?
You know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah,
You gotta
Patrick Ewing finger roll.
Hey, every time I pick up my phone, I hear Frank Sinatra singing today. Alicia Keys,
New.
That's
Frank
right.
Sinatra, every New York song
Cameron,
is
yeah,
on
Jay-Z,
repeat
all that.
all day.
Oh, yeah.
That's hella funny.
There was a shot of Cardi B at home, right, when they won. And she's running around the house and she says, "Oh, put my makeup on. The streets is calling me. The streets is calling me. I got out there." Oh, man. Yeah.
Plus, they had the Puerto Rican Day parade. So, I mean, New York was New
Oh,
York was on one right now.
Oh my God, I know that was crazy.
Oh, yes, it was.
The downside is there are dozens of arrests. I don't know why people have to celebrate in violence. You know, you look, even if you lose, you ain't supposed to do nothing. But 63 people were arrested. One person was shot. 4 people were stabbed. People
Wow.
bashed police cars, shouting winches. That school bus is on fire. You know, you mess it up for everybody. You can't just have a celebration.
There's people drunk out there, Doc.
Well, yeah,
Big time.
whatever the reason, I don't care about the reason. You know, of course, the fact that you're doing it and making, you know, things look bad for the city. So, anyway, it doesn't take away from the fantastic performance by the Knicks and the relief as a
When
as
the,
a New Yorker here.
The next one gonna be in 2079 or something like that. No, maybe next year. Who knows?
If the 49ers ever win one,
They have.
so they've been about what
30 years.
30 years.
More than that. Yeah. 93,
So
94.
what you think gonna happen with if the 49ers win? You think it's gonna
Side.
last night?
Last time they won.
Okay.
They won like 4 or 5 Super Bowls.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff.
We
going on.
got spoiled though. Now we missing it.
Well,
We're
what if they do?
chomping at the bit, as they say.
Okay, if they do, we coming on there and tell everybody to be cool.
That's right. That's
Tell
right.
them to be alive and free.
Be alive and free.
That's
you know,
right.
celebrate with love. You know, not with destruction. All right. Couple other news pieces the Soul has put together. Let's see what we got here.
Speaking of the 49ers, sad news this week.
Yes. You remember Alden Smith? Did you know?
Okay.
He's a great player.
He's a great player.
What happened?
They did not give a
that's
cause
sad.
of death. He was pronounced
That's me.
dead
It's
at
bad.
hospital
It's not a
San
good
Jose.
look.
They're right now they're investigating the cause and manner of death. So I don't know. We know that after those 2 great seasons, you know, with the Niners, he
Yeah,
had
demons.
alcohol problems.
Yeah.
He had some domestic violence issues, and he never got it back together. He just didn't. He's on. But what gets me? He's 36. 36.
Young guy.
That's
Very young.
Yeah, that's
he was
sad to hear. 36 years old, passed away
But-
like that. So
He
much
was-
talent.
Say
He
how
was a
many
great
times
football
he
player.
got sacked?
man. he
Didn't
was-
your article talk about how many times he got sacked?
No,
And
he
Oh,
sacked.
he was the one sacking.
He
Oh,
was
he
sacking
was-
the players.
he was doing the sack.
Oh, he
Man.
Alden
He was
Smith
doing the
was
damage,
a
not
beast
get-
out there. He was scary
Okay.
out there.
He has 33 and a half sacks in his first 2 seasons of the most in NFL.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, I remember him.
I remember him.
Off the edge. Oh, he was
Him and Justin Smith was a problem.
That's right.
Cowboy Justin Smith. Absolutely. But you know, what's my and look, folks, take the spirit in which I say this. I tell young people all the time, opportunity and good intention is not enough. Right? He had the opportunity. I know he had the good intention to succeed, but his demons held him back, and eventually, like apparently, you know, led to his death at an early age. So, you know, whatever's going on with you, get it, take care of it, because this is sad. This is sad. I mean, he is a great, great, great player.
Rest in peace, brother.
Yes, rest in peace. All right, I think those were the only 2 I had, except I heard it through the grapevine. Okay, a deal has been signed. You know what deal I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
To end the
Damn what?
to end the war, to end the Iraq
Oh,
war.
Today?
Yeah, well, yes, that's what I heard, but I've heard that like 25 times in the last, no, so that's what I heard. Yes,
100 days,
100 days. Yeah,
30 times.
yeah. So I'm just telling you, we'll see. And this is supposed to be like really, they gonna, it's done, it's done, it's done, it's done. Apparently, Pakistan stepped in and brought the sides together. And
So we needed Pakistan.
I'm trying.
So hold on, doctor. You're a doctor, right?
You're a real doctor.
I'm a
we
doctor.
needed,
Yes,
we
I'm a
needed,
doctor.
we needed Pakistan to step in to
Yeah,
get it together.
Yeah.
Interesting.
apparently.
Yeah, they needed a mediator, and they stepped in as mediation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
the great deal maker couldn't make
He
it.
couldn't make it happen.
Oh, hell. Oh.
America's weight couldn't make the deal happen.
Th-
Interesting.
Let me tell you something, folks out there. If you're wondering why I haven't been talking about all this stuff, it's too hard to talk about every week. But the election is coming soon. So be ready in September and October. We getting ready for all of this. Okay, so don't think Street Soldiers is.
You mean you're not going to talk about
connecting
the UFC at the White House? I'm just kidding. But what is going on though that the
Octagon.
world is watching is
The
the
Octagon.
World Cup.
Yes.
The World Cup is
Talk about the
big.
World Cup. Don't
Man.
talk about it.
That is going on, and people are watching. You got
World Cup is the
Sweden
biggest.
and Tunisia
biggest
and
sporting
Netherlands
event.
versus Japan, Spain versus Cabo Verde. So I'm learning about some.
Yeah.
Man, I'm learning. It's fun.
Oh,
it's
World
fun.
Cup is the biggest sporting
Yeah.
event in the world.
It is, huh?
Oh, yeah, because you have all these
Football,
countries.
yeah.
It's a World Cup. Not
Right.
the,
It's not the Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl. It's not, the NBA. It's not even the only thing that is close is the Olympics.
Olympics.
But the World Cup, man.
People get so excited about it. It's a positive.
So I was walking and I door knock. I be at your door like, hey man, you need solar? But listen, so many people yesterday was like, I can't talk to you right now. Whatever you're saying, it sounds good,
Mhm.
but I'm watching the World Cup,
Yeah.
brother.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't a game.
It's passion. You talking about passion?
I love it though. I got family who are all into it, and they wake up at like 3 in the morning to
Oh, yeah.
watch the game.
That's tight.
I love that. I love that. It's like
Flags
when you watch
waving.
the
Oh man, it's the
Olympics,
greatest.
You know?
I mean, hey.
Yeah.
And the United States men actually won their first.
Did you see
first
Congo?
match.
You see how the Congo came?
Yeah, they were dressed up in their uniform. They look pretty cool.
They was
They look.
Congo came sharp. They came
they
looking
look
like
very smooth.
King Joffy Joe. Seriously.
They look like
They look
really
very
came to
official.
America.
No, they came in all black.
Oh,
They had like a
listen.
cheetah stripe or strip across their belly or whatever. They was looking sharp, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
They Africans, man. They gonna be shot.
But I'm saying that what's extremely powerful is unity.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you seen them together. They was,
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah.
I was
okay.
like, man, I was
Cup is
impressed.
great.
They probably got smacked, but hey,
Right.
they look
But they
good.
look good. All right, we better get into it. You got something to say, Ann?
I just want to let our listeners know that you can go ahead and watch us right now when you go to YouTube Live at Stay Alive and Free. And you can always take us on the go if you want to listen again to any of our shows. Our podcast is all over the place. Stay Alive and Free, Street Soldiers Radio.
All right, before I introduce our guest, 877-955-1061, if you have questions of the guest, and I think you will because he is here to talk about some very, very serious topics, which really is, he's a doctor, but he's going to talk about health. Once again, in the Street Soldiers studio, Dr. Andre Campbell. Thank you, Lana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr.
for that.
Campbell.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate being here.
Now get all your credentials out first. So the list is so long that, I want people to know who they listening to. Okay, so, give me the condensed version. Give me the condensed
know
version
him.
because I went on Wikipedia to look and it was too damn long. So give me the condensed version.
The condensed version, or the Cliff Notes, is I'm a professor of surgery at the University of California, San Francisco. But my main job is at San Francisco General Hospital, where I work as a trauma attending, and I've been there over 3 decades. So I do general surgery, I do trauma, I do acute care surgery, I do ICU. So I take care of sick people who are hurt in the city and county of San Francisco. And I've been doing it for a long time, which is it's my honor and privilege to serve the people in the city and county of San Francisco.
And your list of awards and accolades is much longer than that. The speech you just, I mean, the introduction you just gave. We're gonna get into more of that as the show goes on. But this guy. So let me just begin by telling Fillmore and
Yes,
Lady
sir.
and Ann and Mrs. Stell what you did for our listening audience. And I'm sure for a lot of others during COVID. I just can't say enough. Um, you know, I know several people who listened to the shows when you were on to talk about the vaccine, to talk about the disease, to give them information because they didn't trust anybody.
Yeah.
They didn't trust anybody. Okay. And you came on. I mean, with your expertise, and let's just admit the fact you were a black doctor was a big deal. And I know one guy, and when we were talking about I don't know if I'm gonna get the vaccine. I don't know if I get the vaccine. I don't know if vaccine. And you, when you left that night, he texted me and said, "Okay, I'm getting the vaccine." So
Wow.
you saved a lot of people with your information, with your expertise, and the fact that you know good advice, bad example cause confusion. But you were good advice and good example because you were getting the vaccine yourself and coming
I
on.
took them. I took them all, and I still take them. And I think it's a way to save people. What I found it a dramatic thing, and I was really an honor to come on your show multiple times during the pandemic and after, because I would notice that a lot of people of color were actually dying disproportionately from COVID because they weren't getting information. They weren't. They said, "Well, I don't have to take it," and then, of course, then their family dies. The whole family dies. I mean, I just read this thing today as we were just talking about basketball and Carl Anthony Towns, the star for the Knicks. He lost his mother. He lost
Yes.
5 of his relatives to COVID,
COVID.
and that's because they were living in New York. And in New York, there were over 35,000 people who died from COVID because and everybody said it's going to come from China through the West Coast, but it actually came through Italy to the East Coast, and it basically blew up. And then we sort of had the repercussions later on. So it was important to get information out, accurate, make sure that people take the vaccine when they had access to it. But even when the vaccine rolled out, there was not adequate access to people of color. It was not. They did a study looking at who got the vaccine. It was not the people who needed it, but the people who were basically more affluent, who were white, who got it. And finally, everybody got it, and then we were able to now convert it into something that's controllable, and we went back to living our normal lives.
So let's start with COVID. Okay, 877-955-1061. You got any questions about the virus, where it is now in particular? Is it dormant? Is it gone? Is it this? If it's that? I mean, he's going to answer them all. It mutates. So we have a new strain. What's the poly? What's looking, how does the future look? We'll start with COVID, 877-955-1061. If you got calls, call in and Dr. Campbell will answer your questions. So, Doc, looking back on this thing and how many roughly how many years now?
So
What's it?
it started in March of 2020. Because I remember, actually, I got a call from my friend who said, "Well, my wife just died," and I said, "Well, what happened?" This was March of 2020, and he said she had gone to a baby shower just after they live in New Orleans, or they live in Louisiana, and just after they had the big Mardi Gras, and 4 of them got sick. She died.
Right.
She died from it.
I remember that
Yeah,
because
that was just terrible. That's when this thing is quite serious.
right. I remember because the Super Bowl, the Niners were playing in the Super Bowl, and some people were saying like, or they're not saying, but
Yep.
basically, if we could have had if the Niners would have won the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
We could have had a big outbreak out here.
That's right.
Because it was going to be 1 million to 2 million people just converging on downtown San Francisco.
And that's what spread it because it was so
Before
effective.
anybody even knew about
That's
it.
right.
Like it wasn't even that. It was like February 14th,
That's right.
like you said, March of 2020. A month later, that's
world
when
world just shut down.
exactly.
And they're like, they're like, well, we can't do anything. We got to end it. So since the beginning of the pandemic, COVID version, because there was other pandemics before that, the flu and what have you.
Back in the
100 years ago.
Yeah.
So there's over 700, 800 million people who've had it. and there's been 77 million people died worldwide. So that's the whole world. In 2023, it was the 10th leading cause of death in the United States, and I think those numbers have gone down. But people are still getting hospitalized in the order of 5 or 600,000 people a year with COVID, even in 2024, 2025. We don't have the numbers from that, and about 40,000 people or more are dying from COVID. And these are usually people who are immune suppressed, people, transplant patients, people with cancer who's on treatment, those kind of things. So those are the people who are still getting sick and dying from it. So we're still recommending, if you have access to getting a vaccine, that you take it now if you're in an immune suppressed group or you're old meaning over than 65. So older, immune compromised, you should definitely take
Okay.
you should definitely take it
We'll
now,
come
and
back
we have
up.
better treatments now. Go ahead.
We got a question. No,
Go ahead.
gone. Okay. All right. 877-955-1061 if you want to ask any questions about coronavirus, COVID. Where is it now? And specifically, you don't hear much about it, which is why
That's a
you
good thing.
are taught. You don't hear much about it. We got a call. Hi, you're on there with Dr. Campbell. You're on Street Soldiers. Go right ahead.
Hello, Rich.
What is Rich?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to say, this thing is made by evil people to kill people.
That it, Rich?
Did you hear?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
heard you.
A lot of people felt that way, and that's why there was so much fear around it. There
Well,
all these
the
different,
biggest the
factors
biggest fear is
behind it.
we know the average person knew
Yeah.
nothing about it.
Yeah.
The biggest fear is it was killing people.
Yeah,
It was killing people, and we had no information, right?
There
And
was a lot of misinformation about it too, and we're still kind of trying to figure out what the origin it was and where it came from. And there's all these theories about a lab in China and how there was a break-in technique and all that. So and we're still sort of trying to sort that out. But the thing is, it was here. We had to deal with a problem, regardless of how it started. Right? That's where it's
Because
at.
when I looked on my Lysol bottle, right, it says coronavirus right there from
that version.
before the pandemic.
Yeah.
It kills coronavirus. Yeah.
Right, it kills coronavirus.
Yeah, that's
exactly,
right.
it protects you from these things, and it was there before, March of 2020 or whenever.
So just remember, it's SARS-CoV-2.
Yeah.
So that's a variant. That's what now SARS-CoV-1 was way back when, 10 or 15 years ago, where we had the thing. So this is just a different version. The latest version is KP.311. That's the latest version of it, and also YFG. So there's different versions, and it mutates. It's sort of different versions of Omicron. So there was different waves, different mutations, and the viruses have been around
they've been around
for a long time, and it's just mutating now. And the good thing is that we're actually able to go back to our regular lives now and live without fear and take precautions. I mean, I have to say, when I get in an airplane, I still wear a mask.
Yeah.
You do?
Oh yeah, I do. Especially when somebody's coughing behind me. Right?
Yeah.
I'll put it on if I feel like there's too many people. I'll put it on and I'll do it. So I try to protect myself. At work we wear masks when you need to, because we still have people who are actively infectious at the hospital.
So this is I got to ask this question, and because I want to ask it, is it under control, and what does that mean? Here we are in 2026, and a lot of the precautions that we were taking then at the height of it, we don't take now. I don't know if people are, the state of the vaccines, are people still. So is it under control? Just from your perspective.
Well, I think
which is a tough
I know,
question.
but that's a hard question. I think that there's still people who are getting it, but it's a lot smaller numbers, and it's changed. We went back to living how we lived before.
Okay, a lot
Which
smaller numbers.
I think that's really the good thing. Now the problem is that the CDC. I mean, there's some political issues about the CDC being disassembled.
Yeah.
Right, they don't have qualified people. People who are in places that they shouldn't be in. Or I mean, there's some guy who was in charge of antiviral or the vaccine response, who is actually some guy who's an expert in male erectile dysfunction. I mean, so there are people in place right, who are not qualified.
It's a different issue.
I know. That's a whole other. No, but I'm saying that people who are not qualified
Yeah.
are in positions, and that may cause problems, with
Right.
respect to with stuff, which I think is kind of crazy.
Let's take this call. All right.
Sorry about that.
No, I'm glad you said that. That shows how incompetent some things are. You're on the air, right? You're on the air, Street Soldier?
Hi,
All right, go right ahead.
my name is Desiree. I live in Oakland. I was just going to say, with everything going on currently, so many people are in food stamp lines, or not food stamp lines, but like food bank lines now, and we're in handout lines, and we're all out trying to help each other. We need to remember the social distancing a little bit. But my question really was, with everything going on in our whole government, is Ebola like something we need to be aware of right now? Is that something we need to be concerned with? And if so, what do we need to prepare? How do we do that?
That was on our list to get to, but you got to it right away. So
Okay, we'll talk about this.
let's go to you.
Yeah, I think that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was reading an article today about how we took away the aid from U.S. aid,
Yeah.
and that would have, put a stop to this, or at least they would have been able to work on this a lot sooner had we not taken the funding away. So it's concerning.
That's a good point that you make. So let's talk about Ebola. So what is Ebola?
Yeah.
Ebola is a infection that is a zoonotic infection, which means that it's spread from animals to humans, bats in different parts of Africa. So if you are not or have not been to South Sudan, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, or been exposed to somebody, you're going to be fine. So let's start with that, right? Now, there's only one person that actually American who has Ebola now out of everybody's been traveling around the world right now. And the current strain, I have to actually read this. It is called Bundy Bugyo strain. It's a very rare strain. There's no treatment for it. There's about 250 cases being tracked in the world right now by the CDC. And you're right about that USAID thing. We have obviously two types of power in the United States. There's the hard power, the military, and all that stuff. But then there's the soft things, the things that we do. The USAID was disassembled, and what it was a vehicle for distributing food to the hungry, vaccines to the young, HIV treatment, all these things that made us a better place in the world, and basically made people feel better about us. I'll just address that. Now, it started in May 2026, and this is the latest version of it. Now, since Ebola has been identified over the last number of years, there's been about 38 different outbreaks. The biggest outbreak that you probably remember is 2013 to 2016, and that's where there was about 28,000 cases and about 11,000 people died. Now, there are a lot of different variants of it. Some you can treat and get vaccinated for. Some you can get a monoclonal for it. But this type that we have now is basically you have supportive care. As of today, when I was looking it up, there are now 700 cases. There's 139 deaths in the Democratic Republic of Congo, right? There are 19 deaths in there. Now they predict that there will be 10 to 20,000 cases in the next few months of Ebola as a result of this. So the thing that's bad also is that there was not enough equipment. You have to have really protective equipment with Ebola. Ebola sort of starts out with muscle pain, headache, fever,
what
that kind of
are the
stuff.
symptoms? What does it do to you?
Yeah, it's an infection. And basically the infection starts out with a febrile illness, so you get a fever. Right, then there's a gastrointestinal phase. You get nausea, you get vomiting, you get diarrhea, you get that stuff. And then the third phase is when you go into shock and multiple organ failure, so your organs shut down. And this is where you see the pictures of people bleeding from every single eyes, the mouth, everything else. And that is the third phase of it. So the treatment for this type of Ebola that's going around now is supportive, right? That means you get them in the hospital, you put them in isolation. If somebody's been exposed, let's say, you happen to go to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, but if you haven't gone to those three places or been exposed to somebody,
right,
you're going to be okay, right? And you're not going to have to worry about it. That's the main thing.
877-955-1061 if you got a question about COVID or Ebola. And we're going to throw another one in here. Mike, you want to ask something?
Yeah, I just want to ask, how do pandemics start? If it's already here, how do they even thrive? How do they get popping?
So, I mean, they think that
Good
this,
word.
this version they think is basically in a isolated mind in a Democratic Republic of Congo. There was some people got exposed to bats who had the infection that lives in them.
Oh,
They got exposed to that, and they
Mhm.
got exposed to it, and then they got it. And then they didn't know they were sick because they're just working people. They're working in the mind, they're doing what they got to do. And then all of a sudden they go home or they go back to where they live and they get and you have to have close physical contact with somebody who has Ebola,
Mm.
right? You have to be exposed to the secretions, their urine, their blood, their feces. You have to be exposed to them to get it, right?
Mm.
So this is something that right now, right, if we are if we continue to support the CDC and the World Health Organization, we can get containment there because now they're actually now getting equipment in there so they can actually, make sure everybody's protected. You have to have isolation stuff. You got to be sprayed down. You got to like be cleaned up. It's really, it's a really scary thing. It's the hemorrhagic fever, and that's hemorrhage means you bleed from it. So it's really quite scary. That's why everybody's scared of it because you're like nobody wants Ebola. But those are the three countries: South Sudan, Uganda, the Democratic Republic of the Congo are the three places where there's warnings, there's travel warnings for that, and that's why they're trying to limit people coming from those places coming to the United States. So, but right now, out of 330 million people, there's only one person who has Ebola in the United States. One person.
So, Mike, you know why you can trust Dr. Campbell? Because when you look him up, it says MD, FACS, FACP, FCCM, MAMSE, FCCOS. And so, I mean, he's
That's
pretty
a whole alphabet.
educated with this.
Plus some Greek letters thrown in.
That means that I'm old.
With a lot of study. With a lot of study.
Those are reflection of board certification and
That
and
means you've been
serve-
very busy.
Busy.
Yeah, and you always have to keep up.
Yeah.
That's the
right.
thing. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to say you're the exception. That would be too cruel. But it seems like we shouldn't be caught off guard. And I'm just
Yeah.
wondering why. I mean, I guess we got caught off guard with COVID because I don't know. Nobody never been here before or something like that. But are we to the point now that we're vigilant?
No, we are not.
Okay.
And I think it's because we don't have people who are qualified in a position. A lot of people they fired a lot of people from the CDC. I mean, I don't want to get started on the anti-vaxxer RFK,
Yeah.
our current health and human.
That's
I mean,
ridiculous.
he's not qualified. He is anti-vaxxer. He is really sort of a difficult person. He's not the right person to be in at the right time to
He's not
run
doctor,
health.
right?
No, he's not.
That's what I thought.
He's an environmental lawyer who's done stuff related to that, and that's what he was known for. But because he got in with the current president, they said, "Oh, we'll put you in that," and he's now instituting all these anti-vaxxer things. So there's a lot of people. I mean, one of in our community, one of the communities in the Bay Area that has the lowest rate of vaccination is Marin,
Wow.
right? Marin County, California, and there's a lot of like educated
So,
people
hold
who
on.
are sophisticated who basically, but they basically are, they don't want to get vaccinated.
You
That's
saying
why there are measles outbreaks, all this other stuff going on.
Measles.
There's 2,073 confirmed measles cases right now. And I'm like, why?
They don't want to
It
get
was-
vaccinated.
it
So
was-
they don't want to get the vaccine. So those of us who are old enough, we had the measles.
Yeah.
And I could tell you, if you had the measles, right,
Yeah.
right, you don't want to have it. You're febrile, you got a rash, you feel miserable. You just and a lot of that is because people are not. I mean, there are hotbeds where people say, "I'm not going to take it," and if you don't take the measles vaccine, then okay, so maybe that may be a personal decision, but then you're going to go to school, and if you get exposed to it, right, then what's going to happen is if you get it and somebody else is immune suppressed, they could die from it. So it's a very selfish thing, at least in my mind, that if you don't take the vaccine, that we know it's treatable, and so they don't even want to take the polio vaccine. I mean, like they missed the whole polio.
Chips in you, microchips.
No, there's not. There's no.
It's-
There's no micro.
And
To prevent.
just let me throw the number out 877-955-1061. If you have questions, you want to get in on the conversation. If you have thoughts about this, all of this, COVID, measles, Ebola, and we're going to throw another one in a minute. Please call. Nobody better than the doc. Nobody better than Dr. Campbell. Mike, you had your hand up, and I don't know, lady, was it lady? I can't see her, so yeah.
I forgot.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Talk about Marin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Them not
like,
coming back.
yeah. So like, if a person says, okay, if a community or a group of people says, how do, like, for example, people don't have chickenpox as much or measles as much.
That's because they get vaccinated when they're a kid. Yeah.
Got you. So you can kill certain things.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't have to have that.
You don't have to get it.
You don't have to get it.
Got you.
That's even if you have chickenpox.
Yeah.
You know, you can get.
Because I don't hear a lot of kids talking about they had chickenpox. I had chickenpox.
Oh yeah.
But
oh yeah, I had it too, and I'm like,
right.
It wasn't fun.
But I didn't have measles.
Oh, that's because you're younger than we are.
Right. So it's the point, like I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, so like if somebody, whatever it is, it could be ABC disease that you get when you're young.
Yep.
You need the vaccine.
If you have
like eradicated.
So there's a series of vaccinations that people get right from when they're born. And these are polio, they're chicken pox, there's measles, there's mumps,
right?
There's all that, and you get all that stuff in a sequence. Hepatitis, the current, head of the Health and Human Services feels that we shouldn't be vaccinated against hepatitis when they're born. What that means is that 20,000 people will get infections in their liver because they're not getting vaccinated against hepatitis B because he is so anti-vax, right? Which is wrong.
Hi,
got a question?
Yeah, you're on Street Soldiers with Dr. Campbell. Go right ahead. Where you calling from? What's your name? Oh, we lost him. Okay.
Sorry about that.
And no, call back 877-955-1061, 877. We'll do our best. I mean, we're all just keyed in on this. And Mike, let me just say this thing, that battery of vaccines that he was talking about, when I was coming up and when I was in my early years as a teacher, you couldn't go to school if you didn't have those vaccines.
Right. It's required.
It was required. Okay. So if you didn't have them, you couldn't come to school. So
immunization cards and stuff.
Immunization cards, absolutely. So I don't even know they're requiring it anymore. I don't know.
The school systems do require that. So there's still rules and regulations on the local level that require.
That's good. I want to ask about one of the things when COVID was just blazing was, and this didn't make sense to me, and you explained it so well, was and we were crying for a vaccine. We were crying, begging for a vaccine. We got a vaccine, and people said, "Well, you made it too fast. It can't be good because you made it too fast." And one of the things I remember you explaining to my non-medical self was that this was actually over a period of time.
Oh yeah.
And so and I still hear that when people talk about the vaccine. And I guess people are still waiting for me to turn green.
Yeah, there's one of my folks that I know in the hospital. He didn't want to take it. And so we sort of got into a joke about it. And he said he takes a vaccine and he's growing an arm out of his back, right? So we just sort of laugh about that. And I said, let's just go and take it. Don't worry about it. I said, your arm looks like it's okay. It's not growing it out of your back. But there are people who are very much against taking it. But, the other things so they've been working on mRNA vaccines for a long time, 10, 15 years. And people have gotten a lot of things. Now, there's actually a vaccine now that is something that's incredible. It just came out in the last month or two. So it's a vaccine against pancreatic or treatment for pancreatic cancer that's part of an mRNA vaccination protocol. So now you have to know that pancreatic cancer has some of the worst survival, right?
Yes.
It's adenocarcinoma, survival rate maybe 6 to 12 months. But they are actually, there's data now suggesting that because of some of the work we're doing with mRNA, that there is another application for it other than the antiviral stuff there, that it can be used to treat other things, which is kind of what you want.
Wow.
Let's get this other virus in here in the last few minutes of this hour. Is it hantavirus? That's the one with people on the ships or that, and is that. What's that?
It travels and
Well, hantavirus is another what they call zoonotic virus, like the other things. So it means it's transmitted from animals to humans. And the animals, this animals now is a rat urine, feces, or other things. So as it turns out that the people on that ship, some of them actually had been hiking in Argentina. And what happened was they basically got exposed to, there's a variant that's in South America, there's a variant in Europe of hantavirus. And actually, you probably may or not remember this, maybe you do, is that Gene Hackman's wife had it because they're,
The actor Gene Hackman?
Yep.
yeah, his
Oh.
wife had it. Now he died because he had some heart disease and
Okay.
other things, but
Okay.
she got sick and she ended up, so it went from being a simple thing, because it's actually an aerosolized thing. So you cough, it's in, after you get it, you cough and you spread it through your saliva, right? So it's sort of, and you can get this thing called hantavirus pulmonary cardiopulmonary syndrome, and you can die from it. So it is a very, bad thing to have, but there's very few people who had it, and it's pretty it's self-contained. So
Okay.
just the people. Now the reason why it happened on the ship is because they go and they do their hiking, they get exposed to the animals, right? They come back to and then what happens is the ship is kind of like a petri dish,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it grows bacteria, viruses, everything else,
Yeah.
and it's a closed environment. So that's why there were some more people who had it. So then once they got those people isolated, once they got through, the course, which happens in 2 or 3 weeks, right, then they're actually fine, afterwards, with that. But there was, just think about this, from 1993 to 2020, there was 833 cases in the world of hantavirus.
Wow.
So that's a very small number.
Yes, it is.
So that's another one that you probably don't have to worry about.
still scared though.
It's scary, but you got to know about it. You got to know what it is.
That's the thing. People got to know. And the fact is, you don't know,
Yeah.
it's the worst thing in the world.
You got to know what it is, and you got to know, where it comes from. And if you
So-
understand that, then you could take precautions. to
Take
do it.
precautions.
Can I ask you a question a little bit more less serious?
What's that?
So my friend, right? He got caught kissing in the club, and the next morning his throat was hurting. I was like,
Yeah.
bro, you got mono.
Yep.
How does that get developed? Like, it's swapping of salivas can develop
Yeah, that's
mono.
sort of how it's transmitted. But it could be other things too. This is.
He just kissed her.
I mean,
That's all that happened.
well, not to get too graphic, it's an exchange of secretions that then
Okay.
promote the virus.
Right.
That's what happens.
Gotcha.
So, I know he just kissed her. I got that.
As far as you know.
As far as I know,
Right, as far as we
that's
know.
it. That's
your
you
point.
went out there.
Yeah,
You went out there to verify that there was
Right,
that was the only thing that
yeah,
happened.
you're right about
There might
that.
have been some other action
Yeah,
going
you're
on.
right.
But this is a family show, so we won't talk about that.
That's why you should talk about it. Because it is a family show. And families aren't necessarily having these conversations with their kids.
That's right.
So-
you need to you have to be
Yeah.
careful
Wow.
with that. So, but it's a dangerous thing. It's kind of scary, but that's
Mm-hmm.
how people get it, and it's not that common. 833 people, I think it's in the United States, in something like 27 years. That's not a lot.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
So
No.
Out of 330 million people,
right. That's not a lot.
That's not a lot.
The precautions that winding down, we're close to the end of this hour, right? If we're going to give this live audience precautions that they should take, with COVID, are there vaccines that they should take? We talked about Ebola, but particularly just what precautions that folks out there.
So for COVID, the thing is that if you're older and you're high risk, and see we've actually converted it from being this thing where so many people were dying and getting sick and all that to now it's almost like a seasonal flu kind of thing. So it's all the things related to what we do for seasonal flu. If you're sick, don't go to work. If you're coughing, wear a mask. These are the simple things that you could do to make sure you wash your hands, right? Those are things.
Okay, all
Those are
things,
simple things
Yeah.
that you can do to make sure that you don't spread it. So I think that's what we have done. Because also, you should take the flu vaccine too. We didn't even talk about that because
Yeah, the flu.
the flu is still here.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you should take the flu
Yeah, the
vaccine.
flu
I never took
vaccine.
The flu vaccine.
Yeah, it's
Never.
worth taking.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I've done it.
Yeah, it's
Never
worth
took
taking.
But I did it more so when
But-
COVID came out.
Yeah, that's right.
And you could go in there and
Yeah.
I got
Got you.
the COVID
COVID and
vaccine
flu
in one arm and the flu vaccine in the other.
Yeah, I got the same thing. Yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
So precautions, don't go to work when you're sick. Don't let your kids go to school when they're sick. Those kind of things. Those are simple things that you can do so it doesn't spread. Make sure that they feel better.
I have 3 of those like forehead thermal detectors for my daughter, to be honest. Just to always check. I'm always checking if she has the
Yeah,
fever.
it's really.
She's fine, but it's just like, when one of them breaks or, it's just being cautious of it cuz like this big old flu just went around these last couple months and people really got it and it lasted, like 3, 4, 5 days, and it was still going around. So I think with COVID, what was nice to learn is there, it's okay to wear a mask when you're out in public. You don't need to feel bad about that. And it's okay to take the day for yourself to heal up if you think you're sick in order to, save other people from getting that.
Can I ask him real quick about the mask? The indoor mask is more important than the
Yeah,
outdoor
indoor it's
mask,
more
right?
important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought because
Outdoor
first
doesn't.
you're outside.
Outdoor,
Yeah.
the wind kind of protects you and all
Yeah.
that. Indoor,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's really indoor when you're in a big crowd kind
Yeah.
of thing. That's really when I sort of, and then, people start coughing. You're like, oh my God, it's like, you're like, okay, let me put this on. And then, they may not have anything. Maybe they have a cold or whatever. Maybe they have an allergy. They may not have anything, but you just want to make sure you're careful.
I'm glad you're on the case, Doc. Well, I'm saying, and if somehow we can get this whole vaccine thing turned around, which I just don't know. I grew up in the vaccinated.
Yeah.
Vaccines are everything. Yeah. Go ahead.
Why
Mark.
do you think that Dr. Fauci was kind of like I feel like he was kind of disrespected.
No.
Well,
Was
first
it
of all,
did
first
it
of
get
all,
political? Was it
yeah, it's
Oh, it's all
political.
political.
I mean, Dr. Fauci has served six. Well, he's retired now, but he served 6 different presidents.
that's amazing.
6 different
That
presidents.
means a lot.
Republican, Democrat, everyone else, and he's just about science.
He's a
That's what the guy's
scientist.
about. Actually, he came to speak at our hospital
Mm-hmm.
like 2 years ago, and I got a chance to meet him. And he's just a straight up honest guy, brilliant researcher, very accomplished. I mean, he started back when we didn't even know what HIV was.
Wow.
That's when he started. I mean, it used to be called gay-related infectious disease. He basically helped sort of like make sure all those things were developed. ACT, all the retroviral stuff. I mean, he's really he was around for a long time. Now, what happened was people came. I mean, he actually. I mean, you may have seen this. He was on TV getting interviewed. He's like, he had to have bodyguards because people were threatening his life.
Yep.
Because all he wanted to do is get out good information.
Yep.
Now, people would say, like, let's say not people, the president would say you can inject bleach and you get better. And of course, Dr. Fauci,
Say, hell
he
no.
would he'd be making a face and he's like, well, that would not be something that we would do, right? So,
Right,
put some
right.
laser on them. No, that would not work.
Right.
Now, the truth be told is that they did a great job with Operation Warp Speed. This is the Trump administration did a great job getting the vaccine
Out to people.
created,
Oh, created.
but they had problems getting it out to people.
Okay.
And that's sort of where they failed because people then weren't getting it when they made it,
Got
and
it.
there was their issues of distribution, and people got pissed because they're like, well, you're the president, you're supposed to solve the problem.
Right.
So yes, they developed it fast, with that, but the distribution was a problem. The fact that there were so many anti-vaxxers and so much conspiracy theories, which he loves spreading conspiracy theories. That's his thing, right? He's like, oh, that's a problem. I don't know. Maybe that is, maybe that it's not. Who knows what the truth is.
Whew. Okay, how much time we got in?
We got like 2 minutes.
Okay, if you got a question, I know you're just sitting there listening, taking notes, because that's what happens when we get in these conversations. You can call 877-955-1061, 877-955-1061. Any news on long-term what's that? It's been long enough, right?
There are some. Well, I'll just tell you my personal experience is that I had COVID a few times, and I have not had long-term COVID. But I have a friend who was a long-term runner. He would run. He's a doctor. He's a surgeon, and he got long COVID, and he can't run anymore.
Mm,
I mean, so that's the thing.
mm.
The other thing is that I didn't mention with Ebola. There is actually, if you have Ebola, there's a long-term sequelae associated with that. Also, so it's a very small number of people, that we talked about will have it. But there is long-term COVID, and they're trying to study it to see kind of how they could do it. It's sort of neurological, it's fatigue, you can't, be as active. It's a real thing. It's not something that's fake. And if you take treatment for it, it'll reduce the course of it. I took Paxlovid a couple times, and it was able to kind of knock it down. When I got it. So that's what you want to do if to make sure you are getting better from it.
Thank you for all of this. I want folks to stay tuned for the second hour.
Yeah.
Or at least tell them where they can get the second hour in.
That's right. We are not done
No.
spending time with Dr. Andre Campbell. Go ahead and visit us in the next hour at YouTube Live at Stay Alive and Free. You can always take us on the go at stayaliveandfree.org.
And I'm gonna tell you why. You got a special thing for you. He used to, his biggest job as a surgeon was stitching up brothers who got shot in the street. Something else is going on that's he's going to talk about his more of that attention. We'll do that in the second hour.
Okay.
In the second hour.
Yeah.
So you were the reason that San Francisco General Hospital was like the #1 hospital in terms of mortality, not being killed.
Oh,
Because I remember it was the statin about San Francisco General Hospital and Oakland as well too.
So I'll say that it's not me, and it's a whole team. I'm not going to take credit for that because it is a trauma center,
right?
Which San Francisco General Hospital is a level 1, the highest level 1 trauma center. And trauma center is just not the hospital. Trauma center is the people who are pre-hospital. So all those paramedics, all those firefighters are running around taking care of people. They're a part of the trauma system, right? You got to so they start there, and even the police help because the police bring people in sometimes who are injured to the hospital. They put on tourniquets and that kind of stuff. So they are the pre-hospital arm of the trauma center. Then there's the trauma center that has all the facilities. It has all kinds of doctors. I'm a trauma surgeon, but I work with other types of surgeons, right? I work with neurosurgeons, urologists, orthopedic doctors, right? And a whole bunch of other doctors who then emergency physicians and anesthesiologists who all work together in the hospital to take care of people through the emergency room, through the operating room, through the ICU, right? And afterwards, and when they go home, they come back and see us. We try to get them back to where they were before. So we were one of the first trauma systems or trauma centers in the whole country. We were founded in 1972 by a guy by the name of Dr. William Blaisdell. And that set the tone for the next 50 years of making sure that we had high quality care. So we are one of the first trauma centers. We think we're one of the best in the country. It's not just me, it's the whole group of us. There's a whole group of trauma surgeons, there's a group of anesthesiologists, radiologists, and medicine doctors, and we all work together, nurses in the ICU, nurses in the ED. It's a whole team, respiratory therapists. There's a whole team of us that come together to take care of people when they're injured.
That's super cool, man. We gotta do these commercials, but Miss Ann, where can they find to go on the other side? Because I'm gonna be talking.
At Stay Alive and Free.
Don't forget to watch that back.
All right.
Okay. No. Okay, hold on.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello.
So we'll just go through here. A laptop then. It's okay. We just talk quickly.
Echoing. It's echoing.
So
Before.
Okay. So,
The echo.
so we're just gonna have to do it like this.
It's a
We
slight echo.
Yeah. So we're live.
I can hear, but I hear two people. It's
Take it out. You don't need to.
Yeah, you don't need it actually. Yeah, you don't need it. Just talk.
so she got.
So you don't hear an echo.
Yeah.
You're live.
So they could hear us.
You're live.
Yes.
You're live.
You don't need the
You say 5,
Just
4,
talk.
3, 2,
5,
1.
2, 1.
All right, hour number two, alive and free, three soldiers. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful first hour with Dr. Andre Campbell. All things virus, Great conversation. He updated us on COVID and Ebola and hantavirus and measles and vaccines and everything, and really appreciate it. A lot of great information out there. We want to continue this hour with, and this is actually, Doc, when I called you, we talked about coming on the show. The first thing wasn't even the viruses. It was the what's happening in the city of San Francisco with these accidents that you're spending a lot of time on. And you know, I've known you as the guy. In fact, I know people who actually had you in surgery. Boys in the Hood who got shot up, and then you the one to stitch them back together. And we're both praying that they ain't coming back to see you again. But now, has that actually been lessened, and that this whole thing with traffic accidents is sort of left to the forefront?
The it's traffic act. Yeah. So we'll just talk about gun violence. Gun violence still is a problem.
Yeah.
The good thing is that this past year in San Francisco, only 26 people were murdered, and that's the lowest it's been in about 50 or 60 years. So that's actually really incredible. Because of the work in the community, because of the work of the police, because of the violence prevention special professionals that we have. We've actually done a great job in this city in terms of reducing violent crime and gun violence in the city, and that's been actually great. I think that's great news. It's gone down across the country, but here it's actually gone down a lot, which I think is fantastic for all of us who live here in San Francisco. The thing about road traffic accidents is a lot of different types of things. For many years, we've always had issues related to car versus person. It's called pedestrian versus motor vehicle accidents, and those things have still been a real problem for us here in San Francisco. But as they've diversified the ways that people get around, people always rode bikes, and bikes have been an issue, and we've had people hit by bikes, cars hit by bikes, people falling off their bikes. But now there's new things. There's e-scooters, which are something that is it's convenient, right? You pick one up and you just go somewhere and you drop it off and what have you. But the problem is that we're now seeing more and more people who are car versus e-scooter versus ground. So that's sort of a whole nother group of people who are getting injured with that. But then now the bikes, when you're riding a bike normally, you can go pretty fast, but now there's e-bikes, and sometimes people will do things like jailbreaking these devices, and that means that they can actually go at up to 50 miles an hour, so go really fast.
I thought so. How fast can those
Hold
things
on really
go?
quick. Let me try something. If you don't mind, give me 1 minute.
We keep going?
Yep, we're
Okay,
good.
good.
Perfect.
Yeah, so they can go pretty fast. I mean, they go faster and faster and faster, and that's a real problem because I think when I was talking to you a couple of months ago, I actually had a patient who was really severely injured and almost died because he was on an e-scooter and got hit by a car. And this was sort of something that I think we have to pay more attention to. Now, there's other things now, as I think about it, is that the issues related to vehicles that, the Waymos and the used to be Cruise. That's a whole other thing. And I understand that we're still studying whether or not they have actually been involved with more crashes than they had before. So there's a lot of different things that are at play, and we're trying to just kind of understand it, and we just want to get the message out is that these things you can get hurt on them. People fall down, get head injuries. They fall down, they break their ribs. They have broken bones of the arm or leg. All these things happen when you are on a scooter or an e-bike going really fast. And I don't know exactly how fast I could go, but I can tell you it's not slow.
I'll tell you because I have one and it's 9 miles an hour. And so it's really fast. 9 miles seems like it doesn't like it's not too bad, but I wear a helmet and I pick and choose where and when I use it.
So this is what I have seen. Number one, in San Francisco, I do not drive faster than 25 miles an hour. I just don't do it. I just don't do it. I just do it
You won't get a
because
ticket because now there's hundreds of those things where you get ticketed if you go past the speed limits.
yeah.
Right.
That's not that yeah, that the cameras, the this or whatever. But the issue is between the scooters, which can go up to 50, and then there's the delivery bikes, right?
That's right.
There's it, and the bicyclists and the pedestrians don't. The only one that's following traffic rules are the cars.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right.
The only ones who are following the traffic rules are the cars.
Yeah, the DoorDash guys are going pretty fast.
They're going fast.
They're in a rush.
Follow traffic
They're
rules.
in a rush.
They run through stop signs. I've seen them run through red lights. They just look like the scooters do the same thing. They come out of nowhere. You can't see them on the left. You can't see them on the right. And I guess the question is, and it's funny. I was on a police commission for years, and then the big thing was bikes, right?
That's right.
And pedestrians and the bicyclists, bikes. Is that the right? I said that right? Would always come and complain, and and the pedestrians would come and complain, and it was always on the motorists to watch out for, people on bicycles and pedestrians. And I would literally ask, I said, well, don't they have to follow rules too? And they would all look at me like I was, like I was asking the craziest question in the world. I mean, and irrational, well, the car is a whatever ton vehicle and it can kill people. I said, I mean, you and I were raised, when you walk out into the street, look both ways.
Both ways.
Between these phones and people just walking, and I mean, I would ask if I was still on the commission. I may even ask, why don't they have to follow traffic rules? That's what I don't get. I don't get why people riding scooters, people doing these delivery guys, and they scoot. And why don't I can't figure that out. And so I'm not surprised that there are more accidents involving scooters. And then because they just everybody's supposed to follow the rules. I wonder if that's happening around the country. Is that just something?
Oh, it is. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I mean, we were down in San Diego at a meeting. Scooters everywhere, the same place, and it's not regulated. And I think that's the problem.
Not regulated.
It's not regulated.
Okay.
We don't know what to do. I mean,
They don't have to have a license to do these things, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think you.
You don't have to have a license.
I think you can pick it up.
The age requirement for it.
I don't know that.
I don't think they have it at all. I mean, you have
I
little
think they have
kids
the
out.
app. They have the app, and they get on the app and they rent.
Oh, for the rentals. Yeah, I don't know.
Or even the ones that's not on. People buy them. I guess they got their own, and then you got the.
Well, it says for the electric scooter, the age limit depends on the state and the local laws. But here in California and most states, the legal minimum age to ride an e-scooter on the public streets or the bike lanes is 16 years old. And then renting them requires you to be 18 with a driver's license.
Yeah,
So
I don't
that's
think
good
that's
to know.
happening. Right?
Yeah,
I do not think that's happening.
Chicken ID. How about that?
Not only that, they're not giving any. You get a driver's license, you got to go through a whole,
Right. You have to.
learning thing, traffic laws, this,
Yeah.
that, so on for it, and they'll take it if you. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised at all. I guess until it gets to be some, I mean, the bike thing and the pedestrian thing, got enough pedestrians hurt and bicyclists hurt that it sounded an alarm, but not with. And literally, I will not go past 25. I won't do it, man. They just come out of nowhere.
Then the bikes. So when you're looking at the e-bikes, which are super popular and somewhat affordable, so you're looking at like 700 to 1,000 when you shop at Costco. But they have no state minimum age for those riding slower, like the class 1 and class 2 e-bikes, which can go up to 20 miles an hour. And then
Sometimes they fix it so they can go even faster.
yes,
20 miles an hour.
I just whew.
They can fix it. They can fix it where it goes faster.
So then they have the class 3 e-bike, which can go 28 miles an hour. So that's even faster than you, Dr. Marshall. But you have to be 16 years of age or older. So that's really interesting. I just think about, we don't even see the regular bike riders when driving, even if they're in the lanes and people open the doors and don't see them. And I've seen the bikes crash into the passenger cars. But then
That's
I
pretty
think
common.
about the scooters and the bikes.
I
And
understand. My
and
issue is they don't follow traffic rules.
yeah,
That's right.
look, I mean,
Right.
You're supposed to
pedestrians
stop-
don't
you gotta
follow
stop
it
that.
either.
You're
They're
right.
looking down
You're
at their
right.
phone when they're crossing
You're
the street.
absolutely right. And-
Like you might have the
but pedestrians, but pedestrians are walking slower than 50 miles an hour, right? And 25 miles an hour.
People are
Uh,
getting hit. So in addition to them moving and hitting something or hitting a car, or but they can actually hit people on the street, and people can get hurt really.
well, and you swerve, you come in and you swerve or move over, and you hit. So anyway, it's crazy.
What do you see, Lady Estelle? What do you see in Texas with the e-bikes or scooters and your young people?
I don't see
These ain't young people, by the way. These are grown folks.
I don't see e-bikes or scooters
Back to
here
this.
in Keller as often as I have seen them in the Bay Area.
Oh,
And yeah, in the Bay Area, it's horrible because they don't follow any laws at all. They just ride. And it's dangerous, it's scary, and the liability almost always falls on the driver in the car,
yeah.
Yes.
That's
not the biker on the scooter or any of that. So I don't see that often. But I see a whole bunch of other crazy stuff in Texas, with the drivers. But yeah, not with the scooters. That hasn't become a thing.
We'll try to keep it out of there because it's. I mean,
Well, they're getting into the
Look.
carless, the people-less,
Mm.
the cars that drive themselves. They're getting into that. It's like we
They're
just
going to need to keep an eye on that because we actually had some people in the hospital who were hit by the driverless cars, and that was Cruise went away, and it was like Cruise, and it was pretty severe. So they were pretty seriously injured.
Yeah,
Wayne
they're
was
not
like
as safe. I'm sorry, they're not as safe and reliable as they used to be seen to be in the beginning.
Mm.
So Yeah, no, yeah.
Now they're everywhere. They have them on
Yeah.
the freeway now. They're going down to the airport. It is. I've actually been in them, and it's way more. It's a little bit creepy.
I bet you it
It's
is.
a little bit creepy. I mean,
I know people do it. I'm like, man, no.
but you know, they have a whole. They actually, it's like driving with your grandparents.
Wait a minute.
You can't be in a rush. Sorry about that. That's a great grandparents.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it is. They go extra slow with stuff. But there you go.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, you know, does the medical community, they unfortunately we usually get involved with this thing after a rash of things, right? After a rash of things. But it seems like literally, I'm serious, accidents waiting to happen. I just can't see, I just, the people get more and more reckless. Uh, I'm telling you, people have crossed and my head's on a swivel, right, all the time, because I don't know where it's coming from. And I was used to the pedestrians who like on the cell phone come out of nowhere, who don't look or just walk in the street and expect the car not to be there, or the car to know where they are. Bicyclists, because we had a campaign about that, but we haven't heard anything literally about.
They need to do more. And I
Oh,
think people are getting hurt. And what's the good thing, I guess, is that the doctors and surgeons and emergency medicine physicians are now writing papers about the incidents. I wrote one a couple of years ago about e-scooters and injuries associated with that. So, and there's a lot of people now collecting information all around the country that's documenting that they're dangerous and there's things that need to be done to really keep an eye on how people conduct themselves when they're on these devices.
the only, and I'm mentioning health. I'm mentioning health big time. Is you want to say something? Sorry, were you gonna say something? No. Yes.
I was gonna say
Mm-hmm.
that everybody that gets on wheels in any way needs to register.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be required to take a test, register, and pay. They need to have, if they got to carry their little plates in their pocket and then put it on the little card that they drop the little coins in, they need to register, they need to be plated, and they need to be observed, checked, taxed, and what else? And ticketed. Okay? That's right. And then you get a whole lot of money for the city and county of San Francisco.
Yeah, that'd be one way to do it, to try to license people and do that. It's going to require there'll be a lot of resistance, but they got to do something to regulate this thing. And it's really in the public sector. We know there's a problem in the people who take care of people who are injured, right? We know it's a real thing, and we're trying to let the folks in government understand that this is a real problem. And I've done some social media stuff and other things just talking about it because it's something that we have to make sure people are aware of. These are dangerous things. When they move, you can fall off and get hurt, and you can die from this stuff.
Well, then it says 20,000 people have been injured annually, and then I forgot to include the hoverboards. Those things, I don't even understand how those work. But yeah, so you got your e-bikes, your e-scooters, and the hoverboards, and that
And not to mention,
the numbers have spiked.
not to mention skateboarders who just. But there are a lot of them. Okay, there's not as many of them as there are these
50 miles
these
per hour.
scooters. Well, no, but they come flying out of nowhere too. Oh yeah, and they don't.
Well, we are known
and they
for
can't
that.
follow any rules because they're going too fast.
So
But
2017,
Yeah.
there's about 8,000 people who were injured from e-scooters.
Right.
That number in 2022 now is 57,000. That's in the United States. And so that's a pretty big number. So it's gone up thousands of percent from what it was before
Wow.
because they're just more available.
I know it's a lot to ask of the
Oh.
you and the medical community, but previous to this backwards administration when it comes to medicine, I mean, you were the people that we relied on. You were the ones that we relied on, and I gotta say, maybe I'm hoping it's not an anomaly. I finally think I said that word right because I've always wanted to use that word in the right context. What we did with the tobacco industry and medicine and tobacco industry was just the blueprint for
Right.
all of this.
That's right.
Right. It
Regulation.
the like, look, it's killing people. Okay. We know now that it's killing people. And I had somebody try and explain to me why that was able to work when it came to tobacco, but it hasn't been able to work with firearms. And um, because the cigarette industry, tobacco industry was making money, so it wasn't like the firearm industry is making money. So, but and they explained it. I can't remember the exact explanation. It was like, well, everybody's dying of lung cancer. It's spread across class. It's spread across race. It's spread across, so then they had a response. And I guess a perception with firearms. And I don't know why they have that now because everybody's getting killed with firearms. It doesn't matter you upper class, lower class, black, white, it's having suicides. I guess the NRA and the gun industry is just
They have a very strong lobby.
too strong. Whereas the tobacco industry, said, look, yeah, it's killing people. And enough whistleblowers. It was an amazing thing. And it was really came down to health. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was health.
That's right.
And this is a health issue. I mean, it's not like we're bringing this up just to hate on people. We're trying to keep people
Safety.
alive and free. In this case,
them-
really alive. We're
To
trying,
keep them alive and free.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's true.
So Jesus boy, I mean, and then the whole it must just really trouble you.
Oh, it drives. I mean, if I'm on call, I'll have 5 or 6 people hit by a scooter, who come in the hospital when I'm on call. So I'm at night. It's like, okay, e-scooter versus this, by e-bike versus that, and that'll just keep going. Now, I will say this is that as a group, the surgeons and emergency physicians are trying to work together with the state legislature to get things passed. And actually, there was an e-bike law that was up that didn't pass this year. But in the past, we've tried to work on, with the state government to see if we can make a difference, and we've not been able to marshal things because it has to go through subcommittees, this committee and that committee, and then get voted on by the assembly and then by the Senate, and then the governor has to sign it.
It must. Go ahead, lady.
It just amazes me. It just amazes me how little legislators care about human beings, about life, about living, about health and well-being. Who can we get in any office that really thinks about, cares about the health and well-being of the people that voted them in the office? Human beings, what are we doing? What are they doing? This is just unbelievable to me. People are dying by the dozens unless there is more concern and profitability
Oh yeah, that's
with
that's a
the
concern.
death
Yeah.
of human life. Who benefits from that?
Yeah.
Somebody must be benefiting. Otherwise, more effort, I think, would be put into saving people.
Yeah, it's two things, lady. I mean, to me, and I've used this
Don't
phrase
understand.
before. I haven't used it. Life is not political. It shouldn't be political. It has
That's
nothing
right.
to do
I
with
agree with that.
politics. And that's why I've always loved these organizations, Amnesty International,
Yep.
Doctors Without Borders. Damn the politics. I'm trying to save somebody's life. And that's what we're about. There's nothing more valuable than an individual's life. I think that's been a big part of it is politics or power or money. All of those things have gotten in the way of human life. We've thrown away more food when we have food. We just gave it to somebody and we could have fed them. That's a politics thing. The other thing, and this must just drive you nuts because you're a medical person, is somehow science has been devalued over the last. How can you do that? Science was the gold standard, right? And
right.
and that must like you, somebody else. Oh my
It
God.
kind of drives us crazy. So it all kind of started maybe with the whole Trump movement when he came on the scene with conspiracy theories, 'cause that sort of led to things. So people were talking about this thing called alternative facts. I mean,
Yeah,
to me, there's science
that
and there's
is
things based on
yes.
science. It is clear that global warming is happening,
Yes.
right? So that's just for example, and there's many other examples. So there's a big El Nino forming right now, and some parts of the country are going to be really dry, and we're going to be drowning in rain, right? Because it comes off the Pacific and it comes to us. But then the group of people in power now says, well, the windmills don't work. The sun, all the stuff related to sun power, related to all the things you could put on your roof to sort of get power. These are things that we need to be working towards. Now, the saddest part is that we're still focused so much on fossil fuels, and fossil fuels is a finite resource. It's going to run out. And we can see what happened with fossil fuel because of what's going on politically now. So you close the Strait of Hormuz. And I was in Australia a couple months ago, and the people in Australia were really scared that they were going to have to basically ration fuel
Mm.
because they get so much oil in Australia from the Strait of Hormuz. Now we get maybe 5 or 10%, and it's gone up, here in California, like other places. But we need to be looking at it's got to be the long game. Solar power is where it's going, right? We got to go with wind. We got to go nuclear. I mean, China is so far ahead of us. China was behind us. I mean, we can't even do simple things because of political stuff. And
Yeah.
we'll just for a moment, we'll talk about that. So 20 years ago, China had no high speed anything, right? High speed rail. Now they have a network that is unbelievable, right? Where you can get anywhere, and huge numbers of people can travel by that. We're struggling in California just to get a high speed train between Los Angeles and San Francisco.
Yeah.
Now it's so obvious that, like, if you ever been on I-5, you know that you would rather be somewhere like doing work on the train, especially if it's only going to take you 3
Take a
hours.
train to Sacramento.
That's right. I mean, to make it, so you could do work and do stuff. But Japan has it. China has developed it. China has all these solar power farms that are doing great things. And now the current folks say, well, that doesn't make any sense, Joe. And we've already been producing a lot of oil in this country, and we export a lot of oil, and we export more than we ever had before. So that stuff is going on. But we need to be looking for the future, because of the impact that we have on the planet that we live on. I mean, everyone's all excited about going to the moon, going to Mars. I mean, these are hostile places that people are going to die while we go there, right? Musk now is a trillionaire, because he has this thing going to Mars, colonize Mars. But like the radiation there is bad. You're going to have to be underground. There's so many things that are in a way. It's a one-way trip. They're like, okay, let's sign up. So 30,000 people signed up for a one-way trip to Mars. I mean, come on, right? That's ridiculous. Or, right? So then, I think going back and forth to the moon is okay because it's close, right? Relatively, but the distances are incredible in the amount of things we have. So the fact that science is being ridiculed, that if you come up with something, well, that's just a fact. They're like, no, it's not a fact. People are just denying it. It's something that has been around for a long time, but because of all the different sources of media, whether it's social media, what have you, I mean, you can get on there and you can broadcast the most ridiculous stuff, there. Like, ivermectin, it works great for COVID.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
that has nothing. That has
What's that, horse tranquilizer?
like
Yeah.
horse tranquilizer. That's right. That's right. And they're like, oh, I took that, or I took this. Whereas, okay, we have Paxlovid, which works. There's also remdesivir. There's other fancy medications you could take to sort of treat it. So we need to go back to respecting what is true and what is not true. It can't be. It's only true for you, and it's only true, and it's not true for somebody else. It's got to be. This is just a fact, right? The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. They're like, well, no, it doesn't. It rises in the north and sets in the south. I mean, it's like, come on. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous.
It's all about money, power.
I trust the doctor and not the podcast.
It's all about money
about
and
that?
power. That's all it is. That's nothing to do with
Exactly.
with
That's
with,
right.
it- with,
That's right.
with human beings, with human life.
Yeah.
I want to just thank you, just for saying all that. I mean,
I know it's not politically correct, but yeah.
oh, well,
that's it.
well, who cares? Life isn't political. That's my statement. I tell people, it's nothing to do with politics.
Yeah.
It's human.
The planet is heating up, and it's a real
Oh
thing.
my! I don't know how people can deny that. I mean, you could just anyway. You've done so many wonderful things, and I want to just give you uh, credit for when you came up with the Stop the Bleed, and that was something you talked about on the show when you were here previously. Just tell people one more time about that, and tell me, how that went and how's it going, and
Okay.
yeah.
So Stop the Bleed, for those folks in the audience that know what it is, it's a program that was started by the American College of Surgeons. But the real genesis of the Stop the Bleed program was after the Sandy Hook murder of 20 kids and 6 of their hero teachers. So what they found is a group of surgeons, emergency medicine doctors, politicians, public health officials got together and looked at all the autopsies of the kids who died. And what they found is that they said that some of the kids had preventable deaths, and these deaths could be prevented by 3 simple things that we can train people to do. And it turns out that that was a thought that started about 2012, 2013, went into practice in 2015, and now about 5 million people in the whole United States and around the world. Actually, I was down in South America teaching it to people. So I was in Australia teaching it. So it's really 5 to 6 million people now know how to do it. So there's 3 things that goes into it. One is if somebody's bleeding, right, you basically call for help and you call 911. And in the short term, you basically can put pressure on it. And that's why after the Las Vegas shooting, which was the biggest mass murder in the history of the United States, where 59 people were murdered, 500 people were shot, a lot of the men had their shirt off. And they basically were putting pressure on wounds. And that's the first thing. Applying direct pressure to a wound or a cut or something, like you do when you have a cut around the house. Second thing is packing the wound or the cut. That means putting something in there. If it's gauze or whatever. I have a Stop the Bleed kit in my car so I can use it. It has gloves. It has, so you put a specialized gauze that's impregnated with a special substance that helps the blood to clot better. So you do that. And the third thing is applying a tourniquet in a really efficient way. So the whole tourniquet thing was very fascinating because in the previous number of years, so Vietnam and 70s and 80s, tourniquets actually got a 90s got a bad rap because people weren't applying them the right way. They weren't using it. So then what happened was during the global war on terror, which is Afghanistan and Iraq, all the soldiers, basically, when they went on patrol, they all put tourniquets on their legs and their arms. So their buddies basically then could stop them. So if something blows up, they could stop the bleeding from the arms, from their legs, and they could save their life. And by doing that, these simple things, they actually were able, if somebody was shot, blown up, or injured, 90% of people who got to a hospital during the Iraq and Afghanistan, got to a forward support hospital, they survived because of simple things that were done in the field and the fact that they can get the care there. So Stop the Bleed is now worldwide. It's being taught all over the world. And the police in San Francisco, the police use it. The firefighters use it. Paramedics use it. And so now it's being used all over. The tourniquets, the packing, applying pressure, all those things are something that is life-saving. And they found that this is something that we could do to save a life. They did studies before this. They said that for a regular person, somebody who just wants to help, they found that 80% or 90% of people who basically got the skills to train could do it, that they would actually help save somebody's life. And this is just a regular person. This is not a medicine doctor, not a nurse, not a paramedic.
Not somebody who's been trained.
If you're trained, you could save somebody's life.
Yeah.
So it's not only used for shootings, but it could be used, for accidents around the house, that kind of thing, backyard accidents, those are all things that it can be used for, in addition to obviously somebody shot or stabbed and that kind of thing.
That must make you feel pretty good.
Well, I think, it was the person who started it was a guy by the name of Len Jacobs. He's a surgeon who's from Connecticut, and he's the guy who was the engine behind doing that. And he's a good friend of mine and really just an amazing person. But we've all kind of now got behind, all the trauma surgeons gotten behind it, and we think that it's just an amazing program.
Wow.
And we teach people. I did something for the community with the nurses. The nurses in our hospital, they're teaching people all the time. We had 50 people, 60 people from the community who come in and they teach it. I teach all my medical students how to do it. So for the last 8 years, 7 years or so, I've taught every single graduating medical student how to do stop the bleed, and they now are instructors, and they can actually go and save somebody's life with the skills that they acquired.
Good people doing good things.
It's something that's really important.
Well, you know, just look, and you don't know. I'm telling you, this man is so decorated. Like it'll pop up on LinkedIn, it'll pop up on Facebook. He's getting this award, he's getting that award, he's getting that, you know. But I know and I think I can say this for him. Tell me if I'm wrong. The awards are nice, but it's because of the work that you do. It's because of life-saving work that you do, and you know, this is every time I see him, it's Doc, you know, Doc, he's getting, you know, because you're yeah, that what you call it, the Hippocratic oath. You are serious about that oath.
Yeah.
Lady E, before we let him go, you want to say anything? It's been great. I gotta say, and you might want to say,
great to see you.
You might want to say thank you
on Zoom.
For years we took the kids. You know, you want to talk about that, lady, real quick?
Dr. Campbell, first of all, just know and understand how much you are loved and appreciated for the time, the effort, what you do for us, how you showed up for us. Our kids that came to your clinic, we were just talking about that the other day. I think Ann heard some of that. And then when we had the young men that you were showing us the videos of some of your clients, some of your patients that came in who got impaled, the blood. It was so funny, Dr. Marshall. The guys decided they would sit up front because they figured it wasn't going to be much of anything. And then when Dr. Campbell put on the video and a guy fell either out of a window and got impaled by a wrought iron. Do you remember that, Doctor?
Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have all kind. I have. You see, I've been doing this a long time, so I have all kinds of things that happen. They're all de-identified, so it's like these are things that happened 20 years ago. You know, so it's like it's not sort of somebody you can know. We're not breaking hip or anything like that because this happened. Some of it happened in New York. Some of it happened here. You know, with that. So this is now going back 20 years. So it's as long as it's not identified, it's okay to teach people. You know, and so they can learn about what we're doing.
The bullets, the blood, the boys who figured it wasn't going to be much of anything, they could barely sit in their seats. They were just gagging. It was so intense. But yeah, so we love you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
We trust you. And that's, I think, more important, the fact that you are trusted. We hear what you're saying. We look forward to hearing what you have to say to us so that, because we know that you believe with us in doing what it takes to stay alive and free. So thank you for that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your willingness to always come and share with us. Blessings. Hey, and we look forward to the next time.
That's right. Well, thank you so much. It's always good to see you. And it's always good to work with the kids at Mega Boys Club and let them see what it's really like in the trenches where we work in every day.
Well, yeah, well, you got the trenches. Ooh, you got some serious trenches. But yeah, we do thank you and appreciate
I got some deep trenches.
Trying to keep them away from you, okay? In a real sense. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. All we can say is be here next week for Street Soldiers, and you know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to stay alive and free. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for having me. Good to see you.
Thank you.